What's up, everybody? Um, Taking advantage of some time at home, being quarantined. We just repainted the bedroom here, so I'm going to update our electrical every time we go through a room. We update the electrical. So I'm going to be throwing out a couple lessons on changing a light switch and later on changing an outlet. So inside of here, we have I've already turned off the power. I've checked that out. I've pulled away the screws. And in the side here, you can see with my switch, I have my two terminals. Now, one thing that the electrician, when they built this house, or maybe somebody afterwards tweaking things around, there's not a lot of wire that hangs out of any of my junction boxes, which is a real pain in the butt for updating electrical. This is something that when we were in class, we kept talking about how we really want at least 6 inches of wire coming out of the box. Here's a great example of not having that, and it just is going to make working a lot more complicated. But we can still get it done. So again, here I have my hot wire coming in. Here's my hot wire going out. In the back of the box, I don't know if you can see this here, but here's my neutral wire right there with a wire nut that's twisting those together. It's also grounded in the back of the box here too. So I'm gonna start off here by removing these wires. Cat scratching the wall. Okay, and if you look at the hooks here, again, the hooks are going around in a clockwise fashion around here so that when you tighten the screw, you're also going to tighten up the wire, the hook. And then we're going to pop these wires out here. And again, if I had more wire, this job would be a lot easier. Okay, not that it's impossible right now, but it's just not quite as easy as it could be. So, popped out that. Gonna come back here, I have my new switch. Okay, so my ground wire is attached to my box. What I'm gonna do with my ground wire on this switch is just tighten it up. Get it out of my way. And then my two hot. So once again, with my hooks, I want to be going around in a clockwise fashion. Now, a lot of times people want to jump to using like a Phillips head because Phillips is easier to keep like in the screw itself, but you don't get quite the torque with a Phillips head as you do with a flat blade, especially for the end. So for that like final tightening, it's always best to switch over to a flat blade screwdriver. I'm only using a flat blade screwdriver in this process here. Trying to get this hook inside. Okay, I don't want that hook on top of the plastic. I want it all underneath of the screw, nice and tight. And again, when I go through here, I really want to wrench both these down. And again, a flat blade screwdriver is going to give you a little bit more torque ability. So we can tighten those right up. And then we're going to push the wires back into the box. And start to screw the switch back in place. Okay, at this point we're ready to give it a quick test. Let me go turn on my breaker quick. Alright, so just ran downstairs, hit my breaker, and now we have light. Okay, so the last thing that I'm going to do here is install my faceplate for the switch. Okay, and brand new faceplate, right? We're updating everything. The house has like almond colored outlets and switches everywhere, and we're going through again room by room here as we paint and updating to whites. So a couple things here when you're putting faceplates on. Something that I always like to be pretty particular about is the position of my screws when I go to tighten these up. You typically don't want to tighten faceplate screws all the way down to nothing or all the way super tight, because they're going to end up bending and bowing and not fitting quite right. But B, people sometimes often just randomly tighten their screws up to the point where they're just going in any direction, which looks funny. Can you hit the pause button? So when I come through with my screws, I like to turn my screws horizontal. Some people like to turn them vertical. Realistically, it doesn't matter which you choose, but it's always nice from a finished product standpoint to have both of your screws facing the same direction. It just gives it a more professional look. Okay, so it's a new on-off switch. Make sure that when you flip your switch up, your light's turning on, and when you flip your switch down, your light's turning off, okay? If it's not, then you gotta flip it around. All right, but it also says on here off, and on the other side it says on, okay? All right, guys, thanks a lot. Have a great day.